Right, good morning. I think it's the morning. Great day today. It's Friday. We are going to be working tomorrow. Well, I am anyway. You're on your way back home, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, we've got a busy week next week. Just to tell you viewers, we're off to, we're going to go and see Tobermoor. Ryan and I are heading out to Belfast, Tobermoor, place called Tobermoor, and they make Tobermoor products and some fantastic products as well. So we're going to go out and see those and go and see what those guys are doing. Be interesting for Ryan to see the manufacturing process, because when you understand the manufacturing process of the materials that you're using, it's knowledge, it's key, it's important. Clients like it, they enjoy when they see you as a contractor having confidence and knowing about the products you're actually using, and it generates confidence. You can understand that, can't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we're doing now at the moment, we're going back to this, we're just getting the picture frame in. We're bringing this job to a conclusion, and you'll be able to see there's a few extras that we have to do, and we'll deal with it. And that's the subject I wanted to touch upon this morning. Just going back just a moment, the last video we did from this point was about bankruptcy, Ryan. Do you remember that?
I do, yeah.
15,000 views. I mean, well over 100 comments on it, so I was just blown away by that. So big thanks to everybody that took part. And I think what we need to do in the future, right, is maybe print off those comments and read through what people said, because I think it's just important to pick up on some of those comments, just go through each item. We'll do a video on that in the future. How do you feel about that? Do you think that's a good idea?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll
it's clearly a subject people are quite passionate about, isn't it? So it's
yeah, massively, and yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, I want to try and respond to everybody, and there's so many comments on there and so many videos that we're actually producing at the moment. It's so difficult to get back to everybody. We will be getting back to everybody on that. In the meantime, before we get on with this video, give it a subscribe, give it a like if you've enjoyed this video, and also hit the notification button, and you can actually see every time we release a video. For me, I don't have pre-announced video times and schedules. It's just not what I'm about. And if people say that it's good for the algorithms and the analytics, that's absolutely fine, but it's not how I do things. So as and when I produce these videos, I'll be talking about it. So right, like I said, the bankruptcy thing had a lot of views. I'm procrastinating now. Pricing in this industry, I've talked about it on many times, like price per square meter. It's okay for you to have a price per square meter individually for you, tailored for your needs. That's absolutely fine. But I've always had this thing about when there's a generic thing across there out the country where everybody is copying each other on the price, because everybody's overheads are different, aren't they? Yeah, and I think that's important to recognise. I don't think there's nothing wrong with pricing per square metre, because when we're buying the product, you'll have a price per square metre, or linear metre, or cubic capacity, like, you know, and volume. That's how people measure things, and it's how we price our jobs. We measure everything that we do on a day-to-day basis. When we're driving in our vans getting to work, we measure the time that we think it's going to get there. So every day we're probably measuring things we don't even realise it. Probably measuring how long I've been speaking for now and how long this video should go on with. But you know, pricing is such an important part and such an integral part for any contractor and the consumer. Everybody has to understand it. Do you accept a quote on the back of a cigarette packet?
No.
Not really. It's not professional, is it?
No, not at all.
No. If you state in your delivery of your price that it's an estimate, that's fine. It's an estimate because you're stating it's an estimate. There's clarity on what you're actually doing. But if you're given a quote, it's a quote. It's a fully itemised written quote on what you are going to deliver. I think where there's a bit of ambiguity is when you have clients asking for things that you spoke about, but you haven't put it in the quote. Just because you spoke about it on your first initial meeting with your client, or your second or your third meeting with your client, and that's what it takes sometimes. You need those meetings to get some clarity on what you hope to deliver for your customer. There needs to be some clarity, doesn't there?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so where the confusion comes is when, and it's happened to me many times, is that you go out, you see a customer, and you've got your creative head on, and you're talking about the things that can be done because you want to inspire those customers. And the problem lies when the client thinks that you're going to actually deliver the things that you spoke about on that job, and it's not. Where the delivery comes and where the clarity should be is in the quote, because sometimes customers say, yeah, that's a great idea, we can explore that maybe at a later date, but initially I want that patio and I want it to wrap around the side, or I want it to I want it in this design, I want it this angle, I want this picture frame, or I'm doing sandstone, I want it in a random pattern, etc, etc. So that's when you itemize what you're actually doing. For example, dear Mr. and Mrs. Jones, many thanks for our meeting recently, and we'd like to enclose for you our quote, which includes 30 square meters of Indian sandstone in a candela grey, and so forth. So you can understand that you're itemizing and explaining and describing what you're going to deliver and the volumes, and then you can start giving specifics on how you're going to install paving to be laid on a 2-inch mortar bed with 150mm sub base, whatever you guys do with your geotextile underlay, and there's clarity in what you're actually delivering. But as I said, the confusion comes is when the customer thinks that, because they don't read their quote, you see. And one thing that I always say to all my customers, question your quote. When you get your quote, have a good read of it, and ensure that if there's anything that your contractor hasn't included in that quote or that estimation, that you get them to itemize it at that point. That's when you need to amend the quote through questioning the quote. You just need to explore this a little bit more and think about what you're getting for your money. If you are a consumer, if you are a contractor, you need to make it clear. And as usual, people may say that I'm being a little bit patronizing now, but the aim of this video is to help people to avoid conflicts of interest at a later date. Get away from that. So when you're delivering your quote, if I was a consumer, would you accept a verbal quote, Ryan? Though a verbal quote is legally binding, would you personally accept?
Me? No, I'd want written.
And why?
So you've got some sort of proof there. You can always refer back to it, because if it's verbal, it's just your word against theirs.
Accountability, isn't it? Yeah,
definitely.
And you need just to clarify so everybody knows what they've got.
Yeah.
Read your quote. How important is it, do you think, that contractors as well and consumers to read the quote?
Well, it's vital, isn't it? Because if you don't, then something you don't get something done that what you think is in the price, and it's not.
Yeah, realizing people's expectations, isn't it?
Definitely. You need to know what you're getting.
Yeah, like I said, we talk about these sorts of things on a regular basis, and we will revisit this, and we'll end up doing a video on this because of people's comments on this video. If you could tell me what we're running at now in time-wise, because I don't want to go too far over with this video.
8.5 minutes.
8.5 minutes. Well, that's absolutely fine. I think this video, if we approach 10 minutes, that's where I'm going to end it. It's a little tease for you viewers out there with this, and it's going to start evoking feelings and thought processing, and everybody's going to have an opinion on it, and that's absolutely fine. These videos are here to help, so if you've got anything to say, just comment below, but make sure it's decent and make sure it's respectful. Give it a like, and that's it. Thanks for joining, and remember, if anybody needs any advice, just go to the website, which is www.greentoplandscapes.co.uk, or drop us an email, info@greentoplandscapes.co.uk, or you can just give me a call. I'm always here, I'm always available. It's 07795 595 994. Thank you for joining, and Ryan, thank you for joining.
No worries.